Today is, okay, let me say who I am. It's Ariana with AR Product Academy, and today is day 4 of the Design Your Product mini course. And we're going to talk about everybody's favorite thing, which is funding. We're going to go over the overview of funding. So what do you need when bringing a product to market as far as funding goes? And nearly every case where you're looking for funding, you're going to need the following things. You're going to need a business plan. This is a several-page document that lays out the plans for your company and your product. How are you going to take the next steps to bring the product to market? And then once it's to market, what is your marketing plan? What are you going to do? You're going to need to have financial projections. And these are sets of numbers that will give a funding source an idea of if or when your business will be profitable. People are not going to give you money, most likely, if you don't have this and you can't show how they're going to get their money back. Because if they can't get their money back, why would they want to invest? Then the next thing is you're going to want to have a profit and loss statement. Oh, I need to move myself so you can see. You will only have these if you have been selling your product. So if you haven't been selling, you're not going to have this as in depth as if you are selling. So before we move to the next slide, all of this is things that you need before you move forward. And I know that this is a lot of information. You don't have to have it overnight, but it is something that you need to always keep in mind when you're on this journey, especially the early stages. The earlier that you know that you need a business plan and financial projections and a profit loss statement, the better off you're going to be. So when it comes to funding sources, there are a lot of different types of funding, and each has their own different requirements. So I recommend that you check with your funding source to see what specific items are required in order for you to get funding. Again, the more prepared you are, the better off you're going to be and the more likely you're going to be able to get funding. So the first type of funding is family and friends. So this is where you ask people you're close with to help you fund your business and your idea. So what I did is I, of course, went to my friends and family, mostly my parents, to help me. They were there with me when I came up with the original idea of having a better phone case. And once I get an idea, I go until it's ready to be sold to other people. But what I want you to know is having friends and family invest in your business or your idea can potentially hurt your relationships. So always just keep that in mind. There's another thing that some people don't know about, and that's called crowdfunding. And this is where you get small donations from a lot of different people, typically in exchange for some small reward. So in my case, I invented an iPhone case. I didn't even plan that. So in my case, I would give for hypothetically $30, they would get 2 phone cases and they could get an extra band to interchange on the outside to match their outfit or something like that. But this requires a lot of time to do correctly. So to have a successful crowdfunding campaign, there's a lot of things that you have to have in place so that you ask for just enough money to be able to pay for all the rewards, but also to be able to get you to where you can do what you're wanting to accomplish. The next is angel investors. So these are people that provide funding in exchange for a percentage of your business. And I want you to be cautious because you could easily lose control of your business if you're not careful with your equity. So I guess not cautious, but more aware that you've got to move forward carefully if you decide to get an angel investor. And you will never find an angel investor if you don't have the things above on this slide together. Angel investors are very smart. They've been in the industry and they know it very, very well, and they don't invest in everything. All right, then we got venture capitalists, and these types of people are similar to angel investors, except they're individuals who only care about getting a return on their investment. And you might have to give up a huge chunk of your company. And also venture capitalists are very hard to find, especially on your early stages. Venture capitalists might not be the right option. Friends and family, bank loans, which is what we're talking about next, might be a better option depending on where you're at, what your financial situation looks like, and what your product idea is, and where you're located at as well. So what is a bank loan? Like it says in the name, that's where you're able to go to a bank and get a business loan. But again, you're not going to get a business loan if you don't have the things that we've talked about multiple times. And with a bank loan, you don't have to give equity up, but you are on the line for the money that you borrow from the bank, or in some cases, if you get somebody to co-sign for you. So say, for example, your credit isn't good enough to get a bank loan, but your mom or your cousin or a business friend has good enough credit, then they can actually co-sign for you, and then you still get the money, but they're actually on the line for it. So again, be cautious moving forward with that, but it is definitely a good option if you need that. There's also the Small Business Administration Loan. So these are government-funded loans that are used to help small businesses get started. Some of these loans have tough qualifications, and others are easier to get than just regular bank loans. And you can go through some banks, depending on location and requirements, to get SBA loans, and others you have to apply directly through the Small Business Administration, which is the SBA. My first loan, I actually had somebody co-sign for me, and it was a SBA loan through my local bank. All right, so now, before we go on to day 5, which is our final day, woo! Are you excited? I hope so. That I want you to fill out the handout that goes with this lesson and keep track of all of your funding information. So I'm going to pull that up real quick so we can review it. All right, so the different types of funding, and this is just a quick reference guide so that you can keep it and kind of know the different options as you move forward. So here's crowdfunding, angel investors, venture capitalist, bank loan, an SBA loan, and of course, friends and family. So this is day 4. And down here is where you'll fill out the different types of crowdfunding platforms there are. So I challenge you to find 3 and fill those out. And then same thing with angel investors. I want you to research and find groups in your area or nationally that could possibly invest. And just because people can invest doesn't mean that they're the right fit for you. But go ahead and write their name and information down so you've got their group name, their contact info, and what specifically they invest in. So you've got 3 there. Same thing with venture capitalist. Find people in your local area or nationally that could potentially invest and keep their information. And then find out what bank that you would use. And if you don't have a preferred bank, then find maybe 3. So maybe sometimes talk to 5, however many you feel comfortable with, and you want to learn what papers those specific banks require in order for you to get a business or a personal loan. Because sometimes that takes time, and they will work with you to be able to make sure that you have everything you need in order to take that to the bank to get approval or to be able to get an SBA loan. And now SBA loans. What loans do you qualify for? There's different types of SBA loans, and the SBA or your local bank can help you kind of figure that out just by answering a bunch of different questions and kind of updating them and letting them know where you're at and what you're doing. And then also friends and family. Do you have anybody in your family or friends that maybe you forgot that owe you money and or that you could borrow money from? Whether that is as an investor or just as a loan and you pay them back a percentage. All right, that is the end of day 4. So please take time to work on this, and I will see you in day 5. Thank you.